Hello guys, today we're gonna be discussing about the square of opposition. So, what is square of opposition, by the way? Square of opposition, this is a chart that would represent the logical relationship between oppositions in virtue of the form. So, there are four types of opposition. One is contradictory, the next one is contrariety, the next one is subcontrariety, then the last one is the subaltern. So first, let me present to you the four types of categorical proposition. The A proposition, E proposition, I proposition, and the O proposition. To make it easier for us guys, this we have here, we can actually see that they have been categorized based on their quantity, if it's universal or particular, and also its quality, if it's affirmative or negative. So for universal proposition, we both have the proposition A and the proposition E. We also have the particular quantity, which is the I proposition and then the O proposition. Then on the left side is the affirmative, which is the A proposition, the I proposition, then the negative propositions, which is the E and the O proposition. So, like what I told you earlier, the first type of opposition that we have is the contradictory. Or contradiction, rather. So, oops. So, for contradiction, this is actually a relationship wherein the proposition has both the same subject and predicate, but they do differ in both the quality, if it's affirmative or negative, as well as the quantity, if it's universal or particular. So let's say A proposition we have is universal and also affirmative. So the contradiction of the A proposition is the O proposition because it differs in both the quality, negative, and then also the quantity, which is particular. Same goes with proposition I. Its contradiction would be proposition E because they have different quality and different quantity. And for this relationship, we can say that they can never be true together and they can also never be false together because they are in contradiction with each other. So either one statement is true, then the other statement would be false. The next type of opposition present in the square of opposition is what we call as the contrariety. So, contrariety is a relationship between universal proposition that would actually differ in the quality, if it's affirmative and negative. So, we have two universal propositions, the letter A and the letter E proposition. So, the A proposition is actually affirmative. So the contrariety of the A proposition would be the E proposition. And for this type of proposition, they can never be true together, but they can be false together. So if let's say one statement is false, then the other statement can be doubtful, okay? The third type of opposition that we're going to be discussing or that is present in the square of opposition is what we call as the subcontrariety. So for subcontrariety, this is actually a relationship between the particular oppositions. So we have the I and the O for the particular opposition. So this is a relationship involving these two propositions. See? There. So for the subcontrariety, it's both particular in terms of the quantity, but it differs in the quality. So the I proposition is subcontrary with the O proposition because the I proposition is affirmative, then the O proposition is negative. And for this type of relationship in the subcontrariety, they can never be false together, but can actually be true. If let's say one statement is true, we can assume that the second statement can actually be doubtful, okay? Then the last opposition that we have is what we call as the subaltern. So here, subaltern. So like the subaltern, they have both the same subject and predicate. At the same time, the quality of this is actually the same. So affirmative A and I, it has the same E and O. This would have the relationship. What they both differ in is actually the quantity. So for letter A, the subaltern is letter I. They're both on the affirmative column, and the A and I differs in the quantity. Since A is universal, then I is particular. So that would be all for our square of opposition. I hope you learned a lot for this discussion. Thank you.